so Nicole, I'm back with another video. Today it's time for my Monday reads. Monday reads is where I'm talking about the books that I've been finishing over the past week, what I've been working on, my plans for the next week, and all of that. If you are watching my Harley Quinn videos, then maybe I'm going to be talking about 2 of the books today because I finished them over the past week. So maybe if you want to wait and watch the vlog, you can skip this. But otherwise, here we go. As I said, I finished 3 books over the past week. The past week has been rough because I've been sick for the majority of it, and is more or less back to myself. I'm still coughing and I have a runny nose and all of that, but otherwise I'm feeling fine. I started out being sick on Monday and yeah, started feeling better, I say over Friday, but Saturday especially, and yeah, today I feel almost back to normal. But while I was sick, I ended up actually reading a lot of things, at least a lot for me, in terms of sitting down and reading a book and stuff and being caught up in it, also because I had to get my mind on something else than being sick, and yeah, that was an easier way to do it. Usually I'll talk about how I completed the goals from last week. I don't have the number tally. I am filming this in advance because I don't think I'm still reading some things, and but I can talk about the things that I have, the goals that I have met. I wanted to read Of Spice and Man, and I can say completely now that that's not gonna happen because I'm in the middle of it. And I wanted to read The Secrets of Sloane House, but I also didn't read that one because I was sick. I haven't been listening to very much audio, and when I listen to audio, I listen to the one that I had from home. Then I wanted to finish Selfies, which I did, which is, I'll tell you about it in a second. I wanted to read through Deadly Coverup by Jussi and Lindsey, which I did, and I will talk to you about it in a moment. And I wanted to finish Wyoming Cowboy Justice by Nicole Helm, which I also did. So overall, I'm happy with the goals that I did meet. The only ones I didn't finish were the 2 audios. And yeah, who knows if I would have finished all of the Harley Quinn books if I hadn't been sick. But I actually think I might have. I flew through those 2 books. So anyway, let's get talking about the books that I finished. The first one I finished was Deadly Coverup by Jussi and Lindsey. I finished that one on, I want to say I finished it on Thursday. Yeah, I think I finished that on Wednesday evening. I might have finished that one, and then starting in on the second one on Thursday. Deadly Coverup follows this single mom who comes to this small town where she grew up. She grew up with her grandpa in her grandmother's house, and her grandmother has recently been sent to the hospital because she fell and hit her head and has head trauma. So she's in a coma, and you don't actually know what happened to her exactly. They claim that she just fell in the barn, but our main character is questioning it like that a little bit. What was she doing out in the barn? She's never used it since her grandfather passed away, and only a moment has passed, and she walks and she comes to her grandmother's house where she will be staying in the time that her grandmother's at the hospital, and someone's in the house, and she is almost knocked over because he takes him by surprise, and another second later, and a man shows up whose name is Wyatt, and her grandmother called him to ask for some protection over the next coming time to help her. And so now our main character is questioning, why did her grandmother need that protection? And as time goes on, you definitely understand that, because from Monday and into the next, something's happening like all the time in this book. It was just super action packed and super edge of your seat, can't put the book down kind of way of reading this. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the characters. The romance was really cute, and I ended up giving this book 4.5 stars. I think it was a really solid intrigue book. I really enjoyed my time by reading this one, and as I said, I flew through that book. The next book that I finished, I really don't know where the book is. I had it yesterday. I know me and my actually finished it yesterday. And I know me and my sister, we were talking about the book because she asked me what I thought of it. And I said that she think that this was the one that she was supposed to read next, only to realize that she had read it. And then, because we were talking about what the main thing were, but I don't know where, if she maybe she borrowed it. I don't know where it is, at least. So I need to ask her if she has it, because otherwise I'm going to have a really explaining problem towards my dad, but we'll see. Anyway, Selfies, which is called The Scarred Woman, which was quite a hard read to listen to or read. It is the 7th book. Yes, the 7th book in the Department Q series. We are following, in this one we're following this in a cold case investigation group called the Department Q. This is led by Carl, who is the lead investigator, chief of this department, and we have Assad, who is a Syrian refugee, who's his assistant, and we have Rosa, another assistant that's been added to it, and also most recently we've been added a guy named Gorm, who is also an assistant in this investigations team. But something happened in the previous book that set off Rosa. Rosa is already dealing with a lot of things. We knew that there was something with her, but something towards the end of the previous book set her off so that she is completely mentally unstable, and has been admitted to the hospital. And yeah, you find out a lot of things about what went on with Rosa in this one, and it was not very fun for her, for sure. We also have another police investigation going on with someone running around murdering these women, just with hit and runs and stuff, and just removing her. And so there's this mystery going on with them solving that, but also figuring out what happened to Rosa. And suddenly Rosa disappears, so they have to figure out what happened to her in that way. And it was really good. I really enjoyed myself when I was reading it. I realized how much I've missed this. It's such a contrast to the other things that I've been reading, because, I mean, obviously all of these books that I'm talking about today has this big mystery surrounding it. But this one just doesn't have any romantic elements to it at all. It's just very dark, and I mean, it's a regular Nordic crime novel, and I really enjoyed it. One of the things I really enjoy about Jussi Adler is his way of writing the characters, of giving them some extra depth to them. All of the villains, the main characters of the books and stuff, they all have something that they're dealing with that we don't really know all of. And in this one we definitely got to know the majority of what went on with Rosa. And yeah, I really enjoyed this book overall, and I enjoyed how it ended up, and I was overall happy with the book. I think I'm giving it a 4.5 to 5 stars. I'm not really certain on the rating yet. I'll have to think about that one a little bit, but it was a really good book. As I said, this week has been one of the best reading weeks in terms of quality, so you'll be forewarned. The last and final thing that I finished was Wyoming, Cowboy Justice by Nicole Helm, which is the first book in the Carson's and Delaney series. This is a book that follows these two people who are from these two families that's already been hating each other, and nothing can, they just hate each other. That's like, and you have to hate the other one and all of that. The main female character is a police deputy chief of police in this small town, and is working on a murder investigation. And we have the main male character, who is the older brother of the first suspect kind of thing, but without being a real suspect. And he is Grady Carson. And she comes to ask him for help in order to find him, also because she needs to talk to him to figure out if he did, just to clear him. She has a good feeling that he has nothing to do with it, but she has to clear his name. But she can't find him and she can't track him down, and he's the only one that can help her. And he wants to help her because he also wants best for his brother, obviously. And as time goes, obviously the romance between these two characters, it flows, and he has to sort of try and find the information for her, kind of thing. And I read this one so fast, I don't know. I started it I think on Thursday, and I didn't read very much on those days. I think I had read 30% or something of it on Friday evening. I read up to 50%, and from then the next morning I read the remainder 50% that was remaining of the book in the morning before I have to meet my sister at 9:30. So I was really invested in figuring out what happened to these characters, and I really enjoyed it. And I ended up, this is the first time I've given this rating, but it was my first 5-star Harlequin. I love this one. I love the build-up of the mystery. It was different than the other intrigues that I read because it started out really slowly. It was just building up this mystery case. At the same time, we had this haters to lovers kind of plot with this forbidden romance between these two characters who's not supposed to have anything going from them. And I just love the build of the romance, the mystery of this. The characters were great. I really love both of the characters individually as well. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what will happen in the other books in this series. I'm definitely going to read all of these Nicole Helm books. she had a way of writing that just really worked for me. So very happy I read this one. So that was my 3 books that I finished over the past week, and I was really happy about the quality of the books in here. Now let's talk a little bit about my plans for the next week, because as you may have seen, I have started this new TBR where I have 35 books on my TBR, and I will use a wheel to decide what books I'm actually going to be reading. So over the next week, first and foremost, I want to finish the audio that I started last week, which was Of Spice and Men by Sarah Fox. I was just worrying there for my cat, but she was just having a hairball, I think. I just had to make sure she hadn't swallowed whatever she was playing with. But I can see that it's still in the couch. So anyway, so Of Spice and Men, I am 1 hour and 15 minutes into that one, and it's like 3 hours or 3.5 hours in my speed. So yeah, I'm a little ways into it, so I expect I'll finish it rather quickly. Probably not tomorrow, but maybe Tuesday. I don't know. I'm unsure about this. Another book that I'll read through next week is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I expect to start and finish this one. This is another romance book that I'm really looking forward to reading. This is the first book that was picked for me in my wheel for audios at work kind of thing. So I'm really looking forward to that. Then I am hoping to read through Grænsen til de halve Sau by Julian Day. I haven't started on it yet, but I'm going to be starting it right after I've stopped this video, because I'm going to be cooking dinner, and will definitely listen to it as I do that. So I will get somewhere today. I don't know how far, so we'll see. And I don't know how long I'll take listening to this, but I am planning on trying to finish it over the next week. We'll see. The next one, the physical book of me for reading over the next week will be A Hope Divided by Alyssa Cole. I don't know if I'll pick up the next book or if I'll just finish this one. I don't know this yet, because it's a little longer than the Harlequin has been, and I'm back at work. But I'm planning on trying to finish up that book over the next week. I have started it and I've read the first chapter-ish, so I am 10% into that book. But I'm looking forward to continuing and seeing what will end up happening with this book. Another book that I will be working on is Kiss of the Night by Sherilyn Kenyon. I've only made a little bit progress this week, but I just keep making a little bit of progress over the next coming weeks. We'll see if I want to try and see if I can get through 2 or 3 chapters over the next week. We'll see, and that will be fine for me. So I guess those are all of my plans over the next week. I don't know the full tally because I don't know how many pages I'll have left when I end up today, but these are my plans for the next week. We'll see how it ends up going. I hope you enjoy this newer version of my Monday reads, but I just feel like it's easier for me to do. It's easier for me to get through, to film these videos on Sundays rather than on Mondays. So that's why I'm actually doing it. We'll see if I go back to filming them on Mondays later on. We'll see. But from right now, this is what works for me, and at least you'll get a weekly update from me, and I will be able to talk about the books that I'm currently working on. Also because I haven't really been doing any wrap-ups this year, so it's a way for me to stick with some sort of wrap-up style, and I can let you know what I'm thinking about the books that I'm doing. Anyway, this is everything I had for you this time around. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon.